NASCAR Mobile 48 back again, and welcome back to another episode of NRR. And in today's episode, we're going to be reviewing the 2020 Cookout Southern 500. And this race was pretty decent, not exciting. I thought this race would be a little bit better, but it was a decent race. But the ending there with the last 17 or 15 laps, something I did not expect. But yeah, in today's race we're going to be reviewing our top 10, rate the race, and then after that we're going to be looking at the playoffs, the round of 16 playoff standings after the race, because some drivers actually had a comeback in today's race, but some drivers did not perform well than what I thought. And also, if you're wondering what these banners are right here, like for Harvick, Dillon, and Logano, those are for my friend is using. I'm letting him borrow some of my cars because he's doing a series and stuff. And then he just needed to borrow a few of my cars, not all of my cars. He just needs to buy some cars. He's just getting into NASCAR, so I'm letting him borrow that. But just ignore that. But anyway, let's go ahead and review our top 10 drivers. Finishing first was Kevin Harvick. Kevin Harvick capitalized late. He didn't have really a fast car, but he was there at the right place at the right time, just after the other Darlington race with Ross Chastain and Denny Hamlin, and Brandon Jones comes from third place to get the win. And that's the same thing Kevin Harvick did. He gets his 8th win of 2020, now up to 57th, 9th on all-time win list, passing Kyle Busch. And Kevin Harvick, they kept having a lot of trouble with the right rear tire that I heard. Their car was really loose all night long for whatever reason, and I heard that the right rear tire cord, for the right rear tire, something was wrong with it. And so, I think that was probably about as far, as they felt like they were comfortable of going, and wound up being in the right strategy in the end. But hey, anytime you can win the Southern 500, it is a good day, because ever since I watched NASCAR back in 2016 and I watched Kevin Harvick at the Southern 500, it's he has a really fast car, but at the end his pit crew always messes up. But here he's at the right place at the right time, and this is one of the most prestigious races in NASCAR, and it's one of the most prestigious racetracks in NASCAR. So anytime he can get a win at Darlington, it's a big deal. But man, it's the Southern 500, so that must feel good for Kevin Harvick. They had a really they had a top 3 car at best, a 3rd place car at best. I didn't really see them. They could get a top 10, but if they fell outside the top 10, you wouldn't be surprised if Kevin Harvick's performance. But hey, they were at the right place at the right time, so Kevin Harvick gets his 8th win of the season, and he has moved on into the round of 12. We have 2 more races till we find out who are round of 12. Who will join them next week at Richmond? Finishing in second is Austin Dillon. Man, it would have been nice for Austin Dillon to get that win and lock themselves into the next round of the NASCAR playoffs. But, it was a heck of a finish for that number 3 team. They should be proud of their second place finish, especially, after dropping to the rear of the field at the start of the race and having to recover from that setback. They battled really hard all night for every single spot that they could get, and they really had a good long run car. And towards the end of the race, Dillon said that he knew Harvick was getting tighter each lap, and then he caught him earlier in the closing run, but he took, Dillon's low line in turn 1 and turn 2, which was where, he was running the best and stopped the momentum that he had going and stuff. And, he gave it everything that he had, though. So a pretty, really great day for Austin Dillon. He had one of the best cars. He had a top 10 car. He was running up there, during the mid part, late of the race. But a really great night for Austin Dillon. They are now, I'll show you in the playoff standings in a minute. But overall, really great day for Austin Dillon. He was a driver I thought was who I think is gonna get eliminated. But hey, this is just one race. There's 2 more races. Anything can happen to this 3 team of Austin Dillon. Finishing third was Joey Logano, and Joey Logano, just like Austin Dillon, was another driver who made a huge comeback. Austin Dillon had to start at the back of the field, and he comes up and finishes second. Logano had some damage on one of the restarts where everyone was just getting out of the way, going all the way to the inside, and Logano had damage, and I thought that he was just at least going to get a top 20, but no, he comes back and gets 3rd place finish. So really great recovery from Joey Logano. But man, But man, they fought hard. They were kind of decent. It's just hard to pass. With the big spoilers on the car. At Darlington, and that makes it challenging. They had Logano. They had a right front go down the last lap of the second stage, and they hit the wall, and they did get a good. And then they did do a good job of fixing the car, and the strategy worked well. For Paul Wolf and the team, they did great there. And then they had an amazing pit stop, the last stop, and had a good restart. And all of a sudden, it was like, shoot, we could win this thing. To see what the left rear looks like after that, Logano was pretty impressed to get whatever they got. It's funny how the team always tells you, how does the damage look? It looks great. It looks great. That's what I hear in some of these drivers' interviews about the damage and stuff. And like, you get out and you're like, whoa. Overall, that's what they needed to do, and they needed to come out of these playoffs running hard and having a solid top 3 finish to start the playoffs with a couple stage points is a good way to start for Joey Logano, since he, has been struggling ever since the pandemic. But hey, anything could change. I think Logano's going to make it to the next round and the round after that, but we'll see. But overall, really great recovery night for Joey Logano. Finishing in 4th was Eric Jones. Eric Jones, is the top finishing non-playoff driver in 4th. Guys, every single race at Darlington, Eric Jones's run, he's finished in the top 10 and stuff. He finished 8th in his first race, 5th 2018. He won it in 2019, and in 2020 he finished 8th in the first race, finished 5th in the second race, and then today he gets a 4th place finish. Yeah, it was good. It was really tough to pass though for Eric Jones. I heard once you got up the inside, the top 7 or 8, those guys were all pretty equal in the race, and it was hard to make ground from there. For them, Jones, they started deep. They started 30th today and drove up and finished 4th. So that was also a recovery for Eric Jones. So this is the third. We're on the 4th place driver, and this is the 3rd driver I'm talking about who's had a really great recovery. Heck, this is the 4th driver, because Kevin Harvick had a really great recovery because he was struggling almost all day. Wasn't really running that I thought he would, because I picked Harvick to win and I got it right. But speaking of Eric Jones, they got a couple of extra spots at the end, but their Camry was quick. But they just never, they just never got to the lead. That's what held the 20 team back. But, it's tough. The cars are I'd say something finicky or something. They're on edge and it's really hard to make ground. But a really decent day for Eric Jones of the 20 team. Rounding up the top 5 is William Byron. Guys, this is the 3rd straight top 5 William Byron's had. Finished 4th at the second race at Dover, won Daytona, and now finishes 5th. 3 straight top 5s for William Byron. He's on a roll here so far in the playoffs, but really great day for William Byron. They were running up top, with his other 300 teammates earlier in the race, and they kind of all spread it out, fell back around stage 2, around the beginning of stage 3. But William Byron was holding up and getting a lot of track position. This is good for William Byron trying to get into the next round of the playoffs. He looks really strong right now, hoping this momentum can continue once they go to Richmond next Saturday night. But yeah, overall, really decent day for William Byron in the 2014. Finishing in 6 is not William Byron, Alex Bowman. 6 isn't terrible, but man, Bowman, they had a fast Chevrolet Camaro at Darlington. They had some issues on pit road that hurt them, and they had to recover from that. But man, I really feel like they were a car capable of winning. They just got buried there, but thankfully they recovered from it. But 6th place isn't the end of the world, but you got a fast car when you're bummed about 6th place. Their car looked amazing tonight, and hopefully they can go to Richmond next week and do the same thing. It is a good feeling to have a good start to the playoffs, for Alex Bowman, because he's been struggling recently. But over the last couple of races, he has been making up some progress, just like William Byron. So we'll see what happens to Alex Bowman. But overall, a really decent night for Alex Bowman in the 88 team. Finishing in 7th is Kyle Busch. Traffic was definitely a factor for Kyle Busch. Like, there was just nothing he could do to try to find clean air in order to make up any speed back in traffic. So, he just got mired wherever the heck he was, and that was it. But being out in front of clean air, he was able to run with, Truex, and he had a fast Toyota and could really show how fast their car was when they drove away from the field by a couple seconds there until that caution that NASCAR flew. That was not a caution to me, but it's debris on the. There's debris on the racetrack, so nothing. You could. Well, you have to throw the caution out because that's sheet metal. So I don't know what Kyle Busch trying to get, but overall, really decent day for Kyle Busch. They had a top 10 car all day, but not a top 5 car. But overall, really decent day for Kyle Busch trying to stay in the playoffs here. Finishing in 8th is Kurt Busch. Kurt Busch said that he was happy with their run tonight, with their Chevrolet. But I know it's not a win, but they got everything out of the race that they were hoping for, except maybe the alternate strategy that they were trying with one stop in that in the final state in the final stage. But he was hopeful for the long run. I heard Kurt Busch say this interview. I like dancing with the ladies. So Kurt Busch does like Darlington. He doesn't even have a win there, but still, they had a really decent day. They did gamble over there in stage 1, getting 5th after staying out with no tires. So that was a good strategy for Kurt Busch. They did have a top 10 car all day. Not race-winning car, but hey, you gotta start somewhere to do good in the playoffs. But overall, a really decent day for Kurt Busch and the one team. Finishing 9th is Eric Almirola. They got in a little bit of a hole early in the race with some left rear quarter panel damage that they had to fix on pit road and really put them in a spot to where they couldn't capitalize on stage points. So that hurt them a little bit, just not scoring any stage points. But they were able to battle back from that and get back in the top 10, which is where they felt like they were capable of running, because I thought Almirola would run a little better than that, but hey, it's damage. You gotta fix it, gotta take care of it, because your car won't go as fast. But yeah, Almirola had a really decent day, trying to stay in the playoffs. He is currently in 12th place over his teammate Clint Bowyer by 0 points. So we'll see what happens there between those two teammates trying to battle. But I do have Almirola making it to the round of 12, so we'll see what happens. But overall, a really decent day for Eric Almirola. Rounding up the top 10 is Clint Bowyer. I bet Bowyer was certainly hoping for more. It's frustrated, to be honest with you. Bowyer had to go back and look at the race to see what happened, with the debris. But by the time that they picked it up, I'd say it was way off the racetrack. So that kind of set them to have a not very good day. But that put them in a hole. They were going to be in the single digits for sure there. They were looking pretty good, but they just had a lot of trouble. That right rear tire threw the rubber off the right rear and they had to pit there. It could have been catastrophic at the end, but the left rear was about to fall off of it, so they've got to clean some things up. But Bowyer, told you going into this, they've got to put 10 races together. They got to put whole races together, but they can't make these mistakes, because that's going to really cost them. Look at where they are now. They're currently 0 points below the cut line. Even though it's a tie, he's technically in 12th or 13th place, but you don't want to be in that position. You want to be in 9th or above that. You just want to do better. But overall, it was a really decent day for Clint Bowyer. And now let's rate this race. This race was just not really that enjoyable to me. I wouldn't say this was a great race. I would say it's a good race, because we had a pretty crazy ending that I bet no one really expected. But hey, you get what you get. So I give this race, I'll give it a 7.5 out of 10. It was a decent race, not really the best, but I'll give it a 7.5 out of 10, because the Southern 500, I like Darlington, it's one of my favorite tracks. But yeah, I'll give it a 7.5 out of 10. Maybe I'll reach for an 8, but I'm going to keep it at 7.5, because that was a pretty wild finish, because I was going to give it a lower score. But yeah, I'll give it a 7.5 out of 10. Let me know what you guys would give it in the comment section below. So here are your playoff standings after Darlington. You got Kevin Harvick right now in first. You got Hamlin in second. And speaking of Hamlin, I heard Jimmy Johnson was not happy with the 11 car for, when Hamlin was trying to pit, and then he kind of missed pit road because Yeah, he just missed it, and then Jimmy was very upset because he was blocking him, and he didn't have his hand out, letting others know that he was gonna pit, and so that's why Jimmy was pretty upset. And he had some damage that he had to fix there, so not happy was the 48 Jimmy Johnson, but Hamlin did get 13th. Not what you expect for Denny Hamlin when you think of Darlington. Then you have third, which was Joey Logano. Fourth was Brad Keselowski, who caused the first caution of the day, slamming into the wall, heavy damage, but he was able to continue. I think he got a top 20 finish, but overall, not really the day for Brad Keselowski. Like I heard a lot of people on their channel say that he's going to make the Final Four. We'll see, but this was just one race, so I can't really judge a book by its cover, but we'll see what happens. But not a really good day for Team Penske overall. Well, just really Brad Keselowski in general. Got Bowman in 5th, Truex in 6th, and man, Truex, his move that he made was just not a smart move, knowing that you're not clear. Right now, 7th in the standing, or in the playoff standing so far. 7th is Chase Elliott. I bet he was not happy with Truex getting screwed by JGR cars at Darlington. That is not something that he wanted to see. And it was about being clear. Kyle Busch was not clear, turning Chase Elliott, and Truex was not clear, trying to clear Elliott for the lead, and that just took them both out for the win. Got Austin Dillon right now in 8th after having a really great day. 9th, William Byron. 10th, Kyle Busch. 11th, Kurt Busch, and Kurt Busch was doing pretty well. 12th, Eric Almirola made a bit of a cut line. 13th, Clint Bowyer. 14th, Cole Custer, who had a really strong car, but he did get a penalty too fast entering. That's a rookie mistake. You cannot do that in the playoffs. That will cost you. 15th was Matt DiBenedetto, but DiBenedetto just did not have a really good day. He is not good at Darlington, so this was just not a good day for the Wood brothers. So hopefully they can make it up going to short tracks where DiBenedetto can actually perform. And right now in 16th, Ryan Blaney, he got docked 10 points after having a penalty, failing pre-race inspection at something about ballast, and then Todd Gordon got fined and ejected one race, so that's not good for him. So Blaney did not have a good race neither, so he's currently in 16th. Not a good look for Ryan Blaney after people say that he is a really good favorite for the championship. So that is your top 16 so far. After the first race. So this will wrap it up here. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Follow my Instagram at 6Donovan_Rob. We have some more racing to go. I don't plan to upload any videos. I'm trying to see if I can go to any stores and try to see if I can find any new cars. Like if I can't find any new cars, I'll film it, but I'll just delete it if I can't find any new cars and stuff. But I'll film just in case. And I try to do it with my mask on. It's hard to talk through a cloth mask and stuff, so I try my best. Like I did like 2 videos and I had to delete them because you could barely hear me. There was copyrighted music. Dang it, Target. And there was just nothing I could do. I have not made a video like that since like the Daytona 500 back in February, so I'm not sure if the NASCAR Stores 35 will come out, but we'll see what happens. I'll see if I can find any new cars, because I have not even gotten Wave 1 of 2020 yet, and I'm just very upset about that. So we'll see what happens, but overall, that's about it. So I'll see you guys, filming on Saturday night, uploading on Sunday, for the Richmond race next week. Can't wait to see that, and yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.